that sounds good. And a Diet Coke, please. Thank you. Hey guys, I figure on my lunch hour, I'd make a video answering a few questions that you guys may have had. I figured I get a lot of emails over the years, people ask me all kinds of questions or in my messenger. And hey, why not? Why not do a video answering all your questions? So let's get started right off the bat. All right. So, Nick Watkins asks, what do you use for inspiration for your designs? Honestly, I don't know. It pretty much comes from anything I see around me, things that just grab me at the moment. I like a lot of old school stuff, flames, things like that, and candy paints, and just whatever grabs me. I don't really have anything I go to, and a lot of the inspiration comes from you guys too. Patrick Parker asks, which build did you enjoy the most? Issues and problems, and what's your favorite vehicles to build? I think the build that I enjoyed the most was this last one that I made for Larry Wood's 50th anniversary for the dinner at the Hot Wheels convention in LA. Now, that was very cool, especially to be able to build something that would go in Larry Wood's collection, honoring his 50 years. As far as issues and problems, I don't really have any, just the usual stuff. You get a few paint problems here and there. I mean, same as everybody else. And what's your favorite vehicles to build? I think the 25th scale cars, just because I can build my favorite castings or various castings that are cool from over the years. And when you build them that way, rather than just hold a little car in your hand, you really get into each and every detail because you have to put each detail together. So you really know that casting inside and out. Cody Graham asks, what kind of advice can you pass on to a fellow customizer? Well, first I'd say is don't rely on it for for income, cash flow, but you can make a little bit of money here and there on customs. But the most important thing I would say to do is always make sure you're having fun. When you aren't having fun with it anymore, give it up. There's no point in it. Life is all about having a good time, and it's too short to be wasted on doing something you don't like. So have a good time doing it. That's what I say. Mr. Chef. All right, what else we got? Rocky Coburn asks, being self-employed, how do you find work in this field? I know you've been part of some cool product development, and is there anything I can share? Well, I don't really find work in the field unless I work for a company, and I work for a few companies now. Otherwise, a lot of the work comes to me, different clubs and conventions I do a few things for, and then people want a few custom cars on their own, and every once in a while in the middle I sprinkle in a few of the things that I always like to build. Those are some of the things you see me post that aren't really going to anybody. Is there anything I can share about some new products coming out? Nope, I can't do that. All I can tell you is there's some great new stuff coming from Mattel, and anything I know I'm not allowed to share it, otherwise that'd be the end of that deal. Sammy McCormick asks, what's my all-time favorite convention prank? Well, some of them I can't say here, and Sammy knows that. That's why he asked this question. We like to have a good time. I think my latest one would be doing a life-size, almost, cardboard cutout of Mike Zarnock with a huge head, and then putting it behind him at the autograph session so everybody can take their picture with it. That was kind of funny. So that's my latest one anyway. Jeff Warchall asks, what type of hair gel do I use? How's the color? Terry Tasman Smith asks, are you officially employed by Mattel, or am I base commission like when I make large-scale customs and Mattel displayed my work and they turned around and made them for the Red Line Club? Did you receive anything from Mattel? Well, Terry, I do gotta say, they never leave me hanging. I do receive stuff from Mattel, and it's always very nice stuff in accordance to whatever I do for them as well. And let's just say it's a great time, and I couldn't be happier. They're like family to me. Chris Say, where did you learn to craft styrene? And do I cast my own wheels and windows for the larger models? I've always built model cars since I was a kid, so I was always actively into the customs. I think I really started the customs when I was about 7 years old, and build model cars even from back that time. They're made of styrene, of course, so that's where I first learned to do it, and it transferred over to Hot Wheels very easily. And that also parlayed into casting stuff as well. So I do my own wheels and my own windows for the large scale stuff. Brent Underwood, do I prefer Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi to clean off blue cards? Well, you have to ask Mike Zarnock that. He's experienced in it. If I remember, he loves Diet Coke with blue cards. Jason Nace. Have you thought about explaining to the newer generation how awesome, fun, and mature the customizing world was on the forums compared to now? Jason, we go way back, buddy. And we've had a good time all these years, and the forums used to be a lot different. Customizing world was a lot different, shared between back then and to the guys now. This is a whole new world. It's not my place to explain to any generation how it was, but it's fun now as well, and I know what you're getting at. And the good thing is I don't go on the forums much anymore, and not for any reason except for I'm lazy. Surish Ramanan asks, what do I use to build bigger scale models like materials and tools? Well, Surish, I use styrene sheet plastic, and the materials and tools, I use sandpaper to shape it, glue to glue it together, and an X-Acto blade to cut it and carve out the windows and details. That is pretty much it. Oh, and a little miniature ruler. Sometimes I get that to work right. Other times, it's kind of sloppy. Mike Selner, what's my all-time favorite Dorito? Doritos. Hope you've been good, Mike. Jesse Ross asks, what do you use to clean your castings before paint? I use lacquer thinner. It gets them pretty good. You use a little toothbrush or something on them, scrub them if it's really dirty, especially after stripping it. And paint sticks fine, no problems. I've never had to use that adhesion promoter or anything like that. I guess I've been lucky. It works for me. William Demas, do you consider yourself as one of the best customizers? Because I do. That's a loaded question. But William, since you said as one of the best customizers, yes, I am one of the best. Am I the best? There's a lot of good guys out there, so I don't think so. I've just been having a good time, and I do have more trophies than every other die-cast Hot Wheels customizer on the planet, which is very cool. Does that mean I'm the best? No, it just means I've got a lot of time on my hands and I've been to a lot of shows. But there's a lot of great guys out there, and I'm sure there's people out there better than me. So, sounds like we're all having a good time with it. But thanks for your question, buddy, and I appreciate your support. Mark Richard Allo, what kind of material do you use to create your 1/25th custom scale cars? Well, Mark, I know you have one in your collection, and I know you dig it, and I appreciate that. I use flat sheet styrene plastic in various thicknesses, and of course, for any of the shapes and things like that, I use the tubing and the piping and the square tubing and the angle stuff, all plastic styrene. Works great for me. So we can hit that waitress. Nope, that's on the chair. Jason Robinson, at what point did you realize your talent was good enough to make a customizing career? Well, Jason, the good thing is it is a career for me now. I realized that about the time I got so many jobs, I was making more doing custom work and design work than I was going to work. And it just didn't make sense to keep going to work to make less money. Before anybody gets the idea that you can go out and just customize Hot Wheels for a career, I do freelance for a few different companies and for a few different projects. Some die-cast related, some not. Some just paint work and things like that. So I do that along with customizing. So I'm able to pay my bills and I live pretty comfortable. I'm okay. I'm having a good time. So, but thank you for asking. Simon Michael says, drag bus or gasser? And ever been to an Asian Hot Wheels convention? And what's the first word I hear when you hear Indonesia? Well, drag bus or gasser. That's tough. I love Phil and I love Brendan, but I think it's got to be the drag bus, and the gasser is close second. Have I ever been to an Asian Hot Wheels convention? Sure, I've been to the Japanese conventions 10 times maybe. Great time over there. I love the guys. Very passionate, and I love the culture over there. I love going to foreign countries, shopping, eating, mingling with the people. It's a great, great time. And what's the first word I hear when I hear Indonesia? Passion. Those guys, they love to collect. They got events going on over there. It's huge. They have a good time. Customizers are top notch. I mean, it's a big country with a lot of guys that just love diecast. So that's what I hear. Passion. Lots of great guys. Thomas Cardinal asks, what was your first mini trucking magazine I owned, and do I have doubles? My first mini trucking magazine I owned was issue number 1. I bought it off the newsstand, and that's how old I am. Do I have doubles? Sorry, I don't have doubles of any of them. Yeah. Okay. Dakota Hutchins asks, old school or new school mini trucking, and why? I always prefer old school mini trucking. Why? Because that's the generation I was in. Never was in too much of the body dropping and the big wheels and all this the flat black or too much of it. I like the old school stuff. It was simple, and that's when I grew up with it. Had a great time with friends and clubs and shows, and so that's what I prefer. But I love it all. All of mini trucking is very cool. Thomas Schick asks, what are your top 3 least favorite Hot Wheels? This is bad because I have many Hot Wheels friends, and they all design something. They all put their passion into it, so I don't like to offend. I guess one of them will be the Lakester. I never was a fan of that, and I don't like the car at all, but, I mean, that's the way it goes. The other 2 would have to be the Lakester. I can't think of the other 2 right now, but the Lakester's one of them. And finally, Andrew Douglas. Can I get a shout out in your next video? You just did, buddy. But check out his YouTube channel. He's got a YouTube, and it's called That Van Guy. So check him out. So that's it. That's all I got. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Maybe we'll do this again. I'll ask your questions. Almost nothing's off limits, unless it's something I can't put on here that won't be kid-friendly. But we'll see. Until next time, y'all have a good one. And by the way, Chris, say, catch up. Y'all take care. Don't forget, hit the like button if you liked what you saw, the thumbs up if you liked this video. And don't forget to subscribe. We got all kinds of crazy stuff. Maybe I'll even tell some stories about all kinds of weirdness and stupidity that we share at the conventions. Take care.